All right, what is up everyone? Today is Tuesday, which means that it's time for another live Q&A. As always, I'm your host, Paul J. Lipsky, here to answer any questions that you might have about dropshipping onto different marketplaces like eBay, Amazon, Facebook Marketplace. So if you checked out any of my videos, make sure that you do, make sure you learn about dropshipping. Then if you have any questions about what I covered, come to one of these live streams. I do them every single Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Ask your questions and I will do my best to answer them for you. All right, let's jump into the live chat because I'm running a little bit behind. We have a power outage at home, so I had to run to my co-working space. Then there were some technical difficulties, but I'm here. I'm here for you guys to help answer some of these questions for you. All right, George says, what are the best price range for product research to dropship onto Facebook Marketplace? Excellent question, George. So George, while you're here, let me know in the chat, or anyone let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me okay. I don't have my usual setup because I am at my co-working space, but I do want to make sure that you guys can hear me nice and clear. But George, great question. What price range should you be targeting if you are dropshipping onto Facebook Marketplace? Now, if you are a new seller, I always recommend that you start with cheaper items. That's going to help you gain traction with your store. In the beginning, there's a lot of components that go into building a successful store, whether that's eBay or Facebook Marketplace or Amazon. And one of the most important things that you need is traction for your overall store. The best way to gain that is really just to start selling cheaper items, because cheaper items will sell faster. Then once that volume starts to pick up and pick up and pick up, then you can add more expensive items. And even when you add more expensive ones, I usually recommend most people start at kind of like a break-even price and then raise your prices as those items start to sell. So that's why overall, kind of in a nutshell, the recommendation is to start with cheaper items up front. So go above the threshold for free shipping with your supplier. So if that's Amazon or Walmart, you want to be over $35, but I wouldn't go over like $75, somewhere in the 35 to 75 range. Therefore, it's cheaper, but you still get the free shipping on those items. All right, Reality says, can you list all of the eBay fees with dropshipping when someone purchases my product on eBay? How much of it do they take? It really depends on a couple of factors. I'm going to pull up here the website. I think that's probably the best thing to do here. So let me just open up an incognito here. I'll just search here for eBay fees store subscription. All right. And I'll go ahead and share my screen here. So this, if you just search, I search on here eBay fees store subscription. This website right here will tell you how much the fees are, and it will also tell you how much you can save by signing up for what's called a store subscription. So if we come down here, gosh, they've changed this. They changed this up, and it makes it hard for you to find stuff. Why'd they do this to us? Well, basically the fee is about 13%. I know that off the top of my head, but it does change whether you're on a free plan or a basic or higher. I don't know why they're not showing that to you right here, but that's what it is, about 13%. But there are some other fees that might come into play as well. So the other types of expenses, I should say, that come into play are, one, the price of the item, right? You're not going to buy the item from your supplier until someone buys it from you on eBay, but you do have to buy it from your supplier. So what you want to do is, as soon as that sale comes in, you use your own credit card and buy it from your supplier. So there's that fee involved, or cost involved. Then that website may charge you sales tax, unless you're sales tax exempt, which is something I teach my students how to do. Really saves you a lot of money, allows you to be more competitive and more profitable. So whether you have that fee or not, or that expense or not, depends, right? The third expense is your eBay fee. The other one is I'm talking about your final value fee, the amount they take out of your sale, which again is about 13%. They also may charge you may also have an insertion fee, but if you're doing it right, you really don't have to pay insertion fees because of the store subscription. So that's out as well. All of those expenses, those are built into the cost of the item. So as you are listing items up for sale, you want to list them at a price to cover all of those different expenses. That way, and then more, so you make a profit. That way, every time you sell an item, you will not only cover all your expenses, but also make a profit as well on that. Again, sale comes in, use a credit card to fulfill your order. Then once eBay releases the money to you, you pay off the card and keep the rest as profit. That's how it works. Brett Powers says, I don't want to use AutoDS's auto ordering because I hear they're slow and unreliable sometimes, but I really want their Aqualine tracking number feature. Is TrackTaco my only other choice? Yeah, so let me break this down for you. What Brett's talking about is if you're using a software like AutoDS, that's the one that I use for my dropshipping business. I'll go ahead and pull up their website. I'm not gonna be logged in, but you'll see their website so you know what I'm talking about. So what AutoDS does is this will allow you to list items. This is kind of what the dashboard looks like. This will allow you to list items onto eBay just with like one click or a couple of clicks. Then if the price changes on your supplier's website, that will automatically be updated on eBay. If the stock level changes on your supplier's website, that will automatically be updated. And you can see all the different suppliers that it works with right here. I think there's even more. And so it's really powerful in helping you automate your dropshipping store so you don't have to spend as much time really running your business. Now, one of the features that it has is something called auto ordering. It only works with certain suppliers, like it does work with Amazon. So the way this would work is if you set it up, you'll have an order come in on eBay, and then AutoDS will see that order and then automatically order the item from you from Amazon. Now, when it's working, it's really fantastic because, again, less work for you. I don't personally use it because I like to use my own Amazon account, my own Walmart account, all my own accounts, because I'm tax exempt on those accounts. That gives me, again, a lot more profit. It gives me a lot more, it allows me to be more competitive with my prices. So I prefer it that way. And I hire virtual assistants to actually order the products, to do the fulfillment using those accounts for me. So I don't use the auto ordering. Now, if I need tracking numbers, like from Amazon, like Amazon gives me tracking numbers that aren't great, then what I'm going to do is I use TrackTaco for that. There's no other solution I've come across reliable. There have been other websites out there similar to TrackTaco that have come and gone. TrackTaco's been around, it's working for me. That's the one that I use. Unfortunately, Aqualine, even though it's really cool, I really like that AutoDS has it. I think Aqualine actually is the best for generating tracking numbers, but I haven't found a way to access those unless you're using AutoDS's auto ordering. No, I don't think so. Why do we use TrackTaco? Amazon, every time you order from them, most of the time, the tracking number they're going to give you is an Amazon tracking number. It's like a TBA. You see those like blue Amazon trucks driving around delivering packages. That's Amazon delivering their own packages. So they have their own tracking number. Now, those tracking numbers you can upload into eBay, right? I suggest you don't, just to have one less sort of like red flag. eBay doesn't like Amazon. They tolerate it, but they're always kind of looking for like excuses, right? So my best suggestion is don't let them know that you're doing it as much as possible, and that includes not using their Amazon's tracking numbers. Now, again, eBay allows you to use their Amazon's tracking numbers. So why is that? Well, it's because eBay has to just accept the reality, right? They accept the reality that they know people are going to sell products from Amazon. They know that some sellers who do like thrift stores and garage sales, that they send their products to Amazon and cross-sell them to eBay, meaning that they list the item for sale in both marketplaces, eBay and Amazon. If the item sells on eBay first, well, the item's at Amazon, So they tell Amazon, hey, Amazon, ship this item to my eBay customer. That's allowed by Amazon. It's allowed by eBay. That's why we are allowed to upload those Amazon tracking numbers. Again, out of an abundance of caution, I don't do it. And I recommend that you use a service like TrackTaco instead of doing that yourself. But I haven't seen it to be an issue for anyone. Obviously, they know, eBay knows this is going on, but they don't seem to have an issue with it. Hey, what's up, Brett? All right, Robert. Yeah, we'll catch it on the replay, man. And we'll catch you hopefully next week. Pets Planet says, I tried to unlock the shipping option on Facebook Marketplace. It asked me for my email, denied me access. Should I create a Facebook shop instead? Yeah, you can try doing that. So there's, this is an imperfect system. There's no clear-cut way to do this. What Pets Planet trying to do is when you're selling or trying to sell on Facebook Marketplace, what you really want is the shipping option. What that will do is when you list an item up for sale on Facebook Marketplace, it's going to ask you, hey, how are you going to make this available to your customers? In other words, when a customer buys it, are you going to hand deliver it to them? Like, are they local? Or are you going to ship it to them? That shipping option is what you want. It unlocks drop shipping for you. It makes drop shipping for you better. You're going to have access to more customers is really the benefit of it. So as much as possible, you do want that shipping option. Now, if you don't have it, there's no exact science on how to unlock it. Not every account on Facebook automatically has the option to choose shipping. You have to have it unlocked, and there's no clear-cut way on how to do that, unfortunately. What we do know is that older Facebook accounts, because your Facebook Marketplace account is integrated. It's part of your Facebook profile. It's the same thing. You log into Facebook and you can go to Facebook Marketplace from your profile and buy items and sell items on there. So we know that older Facebook profiles tend to have the shipping option unlocked at a higher success rate than those that don't. And we also know that if you've had any sort of problems with your Facebook account, like if you were running Facebook ads on it, for instance, and then your ads account was shut down, then that is also going to result in you not having the shipping option. So you want to get that sort of, whatever that problem is, get it fixed. That way the shipping option can now be unlocked for you. Outside of that, though, we don't know why some accounts have the shipping option and others don't. Most accounts are just going to have it, but there will be some that just don't have it. For people like that, you can try setting up a Facebook shop. And a Facebook shop is how to sell on Facebook Marketplace as a business. So a lot of times those ones will have more of that shipping option, or it's not even the shipping option. It's because it's separate from Marketplace. But you should have what you're looking for with Facebook shops a lot of time. All right, I just saw a super chat come in. So I want to, Huccini, thanks so much for the super chat. Appreciate you. It says, eBay asks for invoices and also asks for bank statements showing purchases of the products. How do I do that? So the best way to do that is, thanks for the second one as well. So the best way to do that, if that happens to you, which is pretty rare, what you want to do is you want to contact this guy on Facebook. What's his name? Elior. You can email me, paul@pauljlipsky.com. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head or where to find it. That's the guy you want to talk to if you have some sort of suspension on eBay. He's a professional. He helps people get their accounts back. That's who you want to reach out to. So email me, paul@pauljlipsky.com, and I'll send you the guy's link, but I just can't remember it off the top of my head. All right, Kared says, I have a product that's selling well on Facebook Marketplace. Is there a certain way I should continuously relist that product? Do I have to rearrange photos and constantly change my location to relist? No, if the item's selling well, I wouldn't change anything about it at all. what I would recommend is you just increase the quantity of it back up. So you sell it, the quantity goes down to 0. Make sure you increase the quantity back up so that more people can purchase it. It's kind of like what we were talking about before, right? There's algorithms in these marketplaces. And one of the things the marketplaces look at is how well this item has sold in the past. If they see, hey, Khared's item, this one item is selling really well, it's going to recommend that to more people. It's going to rank that higher up because it knows people are buying that item. So I would not delete it or change it at all. Just increase the quantity. All right, Ghost Gaming, congratulations. They say, I started selling on eBay and I've been getting better and better every single day, and I've started selling 10 plus things every week. I'm starting to understand how to do product research. And that's what it's all about, man. I mean, so many people get frustrated in the beginning because they try for like one day or a couple of days or even a couple of weeks, and they're like, it just doesn't work. I don't get it. But it really is a game of patience, and there are skills involved, skills of product research and skills of optimization as well. You got to learn those and you got to master them. And it takes time to do that. It takes patience to do that. But again, like I was saying in the beginning, once things start to pick up, they'll grow exponentially, they'll pick up steam, they'll snowball, and that's when you can really start to have the success. But most people are going to give up, honestly, before they get there, because they just get frustrated, and people are so used to instant gratification that sort of the tenacity and the determination and focus that's needed to grow a business, most people don't have that these days. I'm just being real about that. I know that's kind of like maybe like a mean thing for me to say, but I've just been seeing it more and more. People's attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. And if you can go on TikTok and get like, what is it, like 4 videos in like 1 minute, and you get that like quick dopamine hit, and you're listing items and you spend like 2 hours, and then you're like, oh, I am not making any sales. So you like give up. I mean, that's like increasingly more and more what I'm seeing, but stick with it because it still works, right? There were people, like last week saying, oh, this doesn't work anymore. But then Ghost Gaming comes in and says, hey, it works for me. I just started it recently, and now I'm selling 10 plus items every week, and it's picking up, right? So the proof is right there. It does still work. You just have to put in the time and the focus and the determination to do it yourself. Brett Power says, what's your weirdest or strangest experience dropshipping so far? Gosh, I've had some weird, they all involve customers, right? That's kind of like the weird part, customers. I don't deal with customer service anymore because I have virtual assistants that do that. So most of my experiences that were weird, happened a while ago at this point. I guess I had two sort of experiences that stand out. I would say, I don't know if this is like the weirdest one, but I had this woman who ordered a Thanksgiving flag. I didn't know that was a thing that people were interested in. And she was just very upset because she ordered one and it was like the wrong design. Like they had changed the design for her. And she was like very adamant. It was like a Snoopy flag, I believe, Snoopy Thanksgiving flag. And she was like very adamant. She wanted like the original one and very persistent on this. And for some reason, I felt really bad about this. Even though you got to care when it comes to customer service, but there's a limit to that when you're running a business, because you can't kind of like bend to unreasonable demands by customers. But for some reason, this woman, I just wanted to help her, and she ended up like calling me because I have like a business number, but I think she may have been deaf. So like there was a translator in there. It was just ended up being like this very convoluted route I went down to try to help her. But I did manage to find the one that she was looking for, and it was actually cheaper. And so I ordered it for her, and she was very, very grateful, very, very happy, and left me like an amazing review after that. So that one made me feel good. It was definitely a waste of time in terms of business, but I was happy I made her holiday for her. All right, Ghost Game says, I can't wait to get your program so I can learn more from this drop shipping. Thank you, Paul. No, thank you. Brett says, you say to use profit. Yeah, you know what I mean. Brett says, you say to use percentages for profit, but I find my profit to be too small at times and would like a more generalized approach to profit margins. Is always making $10 profit reasonable, as it is low enough to be priced reasonably, but high enough to stack for a great long-term profit. So, Brett, I get what you mean, and I have a recommendation for you. So what Brett means is, okay, Paul, your general advice is, let's say, depending on the circumstances, 5% profit, right? Well, 5% profit on $100, that's $5. But 5% profit on like a $20 item, what is that? It's not very much, right? Like $1 or something. So I want more profit. What do I do about that? So inside your settings for AutoDS, that's where you want to go, because you can actually set this up. You can say, hey, in general, I want 5% profit, but at a minimum, I want $3 or $5, whatever it is. So at the very least, you're going to make that much profit when you sell it, but it could be more than that. So I think for you, Brett, and based on what you said, that is the route I would go down. That way you ensure that you will still always make enough where you feel like it's worth it, but it could go higher as well as you sell those higher ticket items. Ghost Gaming says, for some reason on AutoDS, it said I was making $3 profit, but at the end of the day, I only made 27 cents in profit. What happened here? So that means your settings on AutoDS are not correct. You got to go in there. It sounds like you didn't account for Amazon tax. AutoDS doesn't do that because it assumes you are tax exempt. So you have to go in there and account for your your Amazon tax. You have to go in there and put in how much your eBay fee is, because it does change. Those are things you have to make sure are right in your settings. That's in the same place where you can go to help you set your price, like I mentioned before. So that's inside of AutoDS. Bottom left, click on settings. You're in your supplier settings, click on Amazon, go to the profit tab. That's where all of that information is that you want to update. Reality says, in your opinion, what is easier, Facebook Marketplace or eBay dropshipping? eBay dropshipping is easier because there's more automation for it. We use AutoDS for both eBay and Facebook Marketplace dropshipping, but Facebook Marketplace does not have an API, meaning that the way AutoDS cannot communicate directly with Facebook, but AutoDS can talk directly with eBay. So what that means is that when you list items, it will list it through the API. It will then automatically reprice items. It will then automatically restock items through eBay's API, which means that it's fully automated in the background. No extra work required for you to do that. You can't get that same level of automation with Facebook Marketplace, right? It requires more manual work on your part. Now, that comes with its benefits because not everyone's willing to do that, so it keeps out the competition. But for eBay, we do have that full automation. So in that sense, it is easier. What's up, man? How you doing? Brett says, would you recommend QuickBooks for doing my personal bookkeeping? I may hire a personal bookkeeper later on, but flying solo currently. Yeah, QuickBooks is the way you want to go because it's universally accepted by bookkeepers and CPAs. As far as I know, every CPA and bookkeeper I know of, this is what they use, QuickBooks. So what that means is that when you hire a bookkeeper, they'll be able to jump right in to your existing QuickBooks account. If you have a CPA that does your taxes, you can give them access to your QuickBooks and they can download all the reports that they need. So it's probably the smartest option to go with. That's going to be, the most seamless in terms of working with different professionals. Um, I'm not sure what this is, or in what context this is coming up. I should say. Are you talking about like defects on your account, or what? Chuck says, if using Amazon Prime or Walmart Plus drop shipping and sending to me, I'm confused by this. The wording of this is confusing me. Yeah, I'm confused on this. I'm not sure what you're asking. So let me try to help you, Chuck. But maybe if I don't answer your question, you can ask it again a different way. Amazon Prime and Walmart Plus are two programs you should not use for drop shipping. Now, I drop ship from Amazon and I drop ship from Walmart. And generally, I stick to items that get free shipping without Prime or Walmart Plus. Usually that's items over $35. Some items under that will still get free shipping as well. If you use Amazon Prime to dropship, your Prime account will almost definitely be shut down. If you use Walmart Plus to dropship, your Plus account will almost definitely be shut down. That's good news, bad news. The bad news is you can't use Prime or Walmart Plus. The good news is that these websites, Amazon and Walmart, clearly know that we're dropshipping, and they allow us to do it as long as we don't use their subscription, Prime or Plus. So that's good news, bad news on that one. I'm not sure of the rest of your question, but if you use Amazon and Walmart, again, they know that we're doing it. They don't shut us down as long as we're not using Plus or Prime. I think you're missing. So if you want to lock in a price on AutoDS, after you list the item, you can go to all of your listings in AutoDS and actually edit it in there and choose whatever price that you want, or adjust everything so that it makes it the price that you want. Cyberplayer says, does CJ Dropshipping have its own automation shipping system? I tried listing products from them onto using AutoDS, but I got an error for some strange reason. I would reach out to AutoDS about that. CJ Dropshipping, for those of you who don't know, is a website where you can dropship items from China. It's very similar. Oh, what's going on here? Hope I didn't lose internet. It's very similar to like AliExpress, but in my experience, having tried dropshipping from China from several different websites, I found that CJ Dropshipping is the best one that I've worked with for a number of reasons. I made a couple of videos on this. So this is it right here, CJ Dropshipping. Now, CJ Dropshipping has something similar to AutoDS where it connects to eBay through the API and it can list items for you. I think it reprices and restocks them. I think it has auto ordering, but I'm not sure about that. I don't use it because I want everything under one roof, right? I don't just dropship from CJ Dropshipping. I use Amazon, Walmart, a few others as well. Everything is here inside AutoDS. So what I don't want to do is I don't want to be going over to here, checking this one every day, then checking like the AliExpress one, then checking AutoDS for the ones that don't have their built-in sort of automation. It's just very confusing. I like having everything under one roof. It makes everything a lot more organized and it makes a lot more sense to do it that way. If you're having issues, I would reach out to AutoDS support and tell them what the error is, and maybe they'll be able to look at your account and say why it's happening. How do you dropship on Facebook Marketplace if you don't have the shipping option unlocked? There's a few options available to you. You can try Facebook Shops. Some people have success with that. The other option is, honestly, the best thing to do is to find a friend or family member, have them create an account and run it for them. that's going to be your best option, to be honest. Now, we have had students who have had success where they've listed products up for sale on Facebook Marketplace without the shipping option, and they've simultaneously created a Shopify store with all of their products in it. And anytime someone messaged them on Facebook for the product, they would send them to their Shopify store. And they've created scripts for that do work. So it's not the most ideal, to be honest. It's better to have that shipping option or to use Facebook shops. I mean, that's the best solution, honestly. Do you still use FBM Fox for Facebook shops or AutoDS? Does AutoDS do the same thing as FBM Fox for shops? Yeah, I use AutoDS now for that. Again, one-stop shop, everything under one roof, and it works the same way. It does the same exact thing. Yeah, I really appreciate the super chat, but without looking at your account, I don't know what the issue is. You can try emailing me, paul@pauljlipsky.com, but there's a lot of factors that go into a suspension. Without looking at your account, I don't know what happened. I don't have the full story on that. How do I bundle 2 or more items together to list as a 2-pack using AutoDS? Okay. You have 3 questions here. Some of them are easy, some of them are difficult. So this question, how do I bundle 2 or more items? So let's say you're selling this water bottle and for some reason you want to sell it as a 2-pack. That's pretty easy to do. You list the item the same way on AutoDS, but there's going to be extra work involved for you. You're going to have to change the title to make it clear that this is a 2-pack. You're going to put that in the description saying you're buying 2 water bottles, not just one. And it'd even be a good idea for you to create your own image, like download the images, Photoshop them, or do it in Canva. So you show 2 water bottles side by side, use that as a main image. So it's clear to people they're getting 2 water bottles. You list the item, then you go in and edit that item's pricing and you change it so that the price is now double what it was. That way you cover all the additional expenses of having a second water bottle you're ordering from your supplier. It gets a little bit tricky there, right? Because let's say it's the item costs $30 on Walmart for one of them, and you're gonna buy 2 of them. Well, now it's $60, but you don't have to pay for shipping. So you gotta factor in all of that stuff when you're doing it. So it is a little bit tricky. Then it also gets tricky when you're fulfilling orders because you want to make sure that when you fulfill the order, you buy 2 of them. And I see a lot of people making that mistake. I made that mistake a lot in the beginning. I wouldn't order the right quantity for multi-packs. So those are all the things you got to cover. You got to make sure you do. How do you avoid listing the same item into 2 different eBay stores? Well, if you're using AutoDS to list items, you can have multiple stores connected to your AutoDS account. And it will tell you, hey, you already have this item listed in your other eBay store. Is it okay to list the same thing twice if I use different titles and pictures? How does that work? You're still not supposed to do that on eBay. So eBay doesn't want you to list the same item twice. It doesn't want you to list it twice into one store, and it doesn't want you to list the item into one store and the same item into another store. Even if you use different titles and pictures. Do people do it? Yes, all the time. Are you probably going to get in trouble for it? Probably not, but I see people all the time get listings removed for it. And for me, I just don't think it's worth the risk at all. So if you wanted to make it a little bit different, you could sell something similar, but just a little bit different. I don't sell on AliExpress. So I don't know how to sell on AliExpress. How to get more listing views on eBay. I have a bunch of videos about this. There's a new strategy, new in the sense I haven't talked about it on YouTube before, that I just recorded the video on that one, but that video is coming out next week. So make sure to subscribe, make sure to watch out for that video, because that video is going to help out a lot of people, I think. All right, Lauren says, I put up a job posting, I guess for a virtual assistant. Now I have 180 applicants. How do I sort through all of that? Yeah, that's a lot. I don't think I've ever gotten 180. That is a lot. So first, when you're creating a job posting, I always put in there a set of questions. And one of the questions will be something silly like what's your favorite food? What's your favorite color? Then I get 108 applicants. I go through each of them and I see, did they answer those questions? Did they tell me what their favorite food was? And if not, immediately delete them, right? That takes care of like half of them usually, sometimes more, right off the bat. Then I look through what's left and say, okay, did they really like spend time answering this, or did they just copy and paste this from somewhere else? It's okay if they copy and paste, but I want to make sure they copy, paste, and then edit it specifically for what I asked for. So I check for that stuff as well. And you can just kind of get a sense of, did this person put time into this? You know, some people just put like short, quick answers. They're not using correct punctuation. I want to get rid of all of that. I get rid of people who it's very clear they don't have, good English writing skills, right? That's the way I communicate is in English. I don't know any other languages. Their English doesn't need to be perfect, but they need to be able to communicate with me. And if it's clear from that they are not going to be able to do that, I delete them as well. So that is a good place to start, just to kind of get rid of a lot of the applicants who are not going to be a good fit. And then you can whittle it down from there. Usually I ask, when are you available for an interview? Some people aren't going to respond, so that eliminates a lot of them as well. And at a certain point, you just kind of have to say, you interviewed a bunch, you found a few that you liked, you interview maybe again, you ask some more questions. You don't need to talk to every single applicant. That's not necessary for you to do. What's the best way to get ahead, start drop shipping, going ahead, focusing on Christmas? It's currently October 17th. Now is when you want to start listing Christmas stuff. Christmas decorations, Christmas trees, wreaths, all this sort of stuff. List it now. Now is the time to take action on this, because you want those items in your store ready to be purchased on November 1st. People are going to start buying Christmas stuff before that, but November 1st is when you want to be ready to go. And you're going to keep listing Christmas stuff after that, because stuff's going to continue to sell. I do not focus on gifts because my store is already full of stuff that people can buy, right? They're not like Christmas gifts, they're like tools and furniture and stuff like that. But you're going to see that this regular stuff is, people are just going to buy more of it during Christmas for gifts. Anything can be a gift. So I just focus on the decorations, and they're going to hit that hard come November 1st, all through November, even start of December, you're going to see those selling. Any sort of error with AutoDS, you should reach out to them for support, because I don't have access to that. Yeah, again, without looking at your account, man, I don't know. I don't know if you had defects on your account. I don't know if they sent you emails about Vero warnings. There's a lot of different things that can go into that. All right. I'm not very good at using spreadsheets, says Gerardo. Any advice on how to use spreadsheets? Point me in the right direction to learn about it. So to be honest, Gerardo, I'm not very good at spreadsheets either. These Excel spreadsheets, you can put all sorts of formulas in them to help you do like crazy stuff to keep track of stuff. That's not really how I use spreadsheets. My spreadsheets are very simple, right? The column at the top will say, what is the name of the product? The next column will say, what is a link to the item? The next one will be like, what's your eBay? What's the item number on eBay? And I just copy and paste that stuff into those small boxes, those cells. I don't use the crazy formulas. That's not how I use Excel. I just use them to organize information into those tables. But I do know that if you go onto websites, I think like Fiverr, you can buy these spreadsheets. You can look up like an accounting spreadsheet, and you can buy them with the formulas already in them. A lot of times they come with videos explaining how to use them. that may be a good option for you, because I've certainly purchased those as well for other things when I actually need those formulas, because I'm not going to figure out myself. All right. Chriso sent me a super chat. So let's see what he has to say. All right. My Walmart orders keep getting canceled even with a regular customer account. How do you get around this? So, first, man, appreciate the super chat. I'm not sure what your email is. I'm not sure about that. I do have a VA that filters through stuff. I answer like 90% of my own emails, but I have a VA that does filter out stuff for me. So I'm not sure exactly what happened there. You try emailing me again. But anyway, appreciate the super chats. So you said, my Walmart orders keep getting canceled. How do you get around this? So there's a few reasons your Walmart orders may be getting canceled. The best thing to do is to call Walmart, because a lot of times new accounts on Walmart, when you start ordering from them, your orders will be canceled. And then you call them, all they're afraid of, or all they're thinking is happening, is that there's some sort of fraud going on. They see you shipping to multiple addresses, they get a little nervous. You call them, they usually remove that block, and then you can place the order. Sometimes you have to call them multiple times. Sometimes you'll call, you'll get the block removed, you'll place some orders, and it'll happen again. The more you call and get that block removed, the less often it will happen, and then pretty soon it's not going to happen at all. So that's the first thing I would try. The other thing you could try at the same time, or maybe even before that, is pay with different payment options. I'm assuming you're using credit card right now. Try a different credit card. Try paying with PayPal. I have like 100% success rate buying stuff on Walmart with PayPal. Most people do, but some people say that even with PayPal, their orders get canceled. Again, all this only happens as a new purchaser on Walmart. After some time and after you kind of like work through these kinks, it shouldn't happen anymore. So that'd be my advice. Call Walmart and use all the different payment options that are available. Should you have a different LLC for each marketplace drop shipping on? That's something, you want to talk to a lawyer about, to look at your own situation and how much each of your marketplaces is making. There's a lot of factors that go into that. Most people I know, just to give like general sort of observation, they either don't have an LLC at all and they're just selling as an individual, or if they do have an LLC, all of their different side hustles, all of their different marketplaces are all under one LLC. Chuck says, I have Prime Pack. Oh, I see. So what Chuck's doing is Chuck, Chuck, I used to be opposed to this idea, but I don't hate it. I don't hate this idea. What Chuck's doing is, it sounds like what Chuck is doing is Chuck has Amazon items listed for sale on eBay. Once the item sells on eBay, Chuck is ordering it from Amazon and getting it delivered to his house using Prime. That way the item comes the same day or the next day, maybe 2 days, pretty fast to your house. Then you grab the eBay label and slap it on it, and then you put it out the door, right? I don't think Amazon's going to have a problem with this because everything's coming to your house. That should be okay. But to be honest, I'm not certain of that because most people aren't doing this. I don't know very many people who are doing this. I used to be opposed to this because I didn't really see the point in doing it. I still don't know if I see the point in doing it, honestly. The problem with this is the eBay shipping cost, right? That's what could kind of eat things up for you. Now, that's somewhat offset because you're not paying, because you're able to get your Amazon items so cheap. Yeah, I'm thinking through this in my head. It really depends on how much eBay is charging you for shipping, whether it's worth it or not. It's not a terrible strategy, given what Amazon is doing with Prime and not really letting us use it for drop shipping. It's not a terrible strategy, but it really depends on how much shipping is with eBay, which I don't know about because I don't ship items using eBay shipping labels. I drop ship. So it's interesting, Chuck. I think I like the idea more now than I have in the past, is what I'll say. It depends on the item, Bernita. It depends on the item and how long the shipping and handling time is. And that's the other thing I want to say about Chuck's ideas. The cool thing here is that if you set your handling time correctly, like let's say, I think you could probably set it for like 3 days, which is not unreasonable. Your Amazon item is going to arrive in that 3 days. You'll be able to get a label on it and out the door within 3 days. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I have whole videos about this, but the first 69 days, you want to move slowly with this. The first month, you want to move slowly. You really want to spend time priming your eBay account and adding items slowly after that priming period, just a few items a day, and then increase that up and up and up. Yeah, I would contact Autodesk. I don't know why that is. We have spreadsheets and we use QuickBooks for tracking profit. Lorenzo says, do you sell items that are over $5,000? No, I don't sell items that expensive. I usually keep my items under $300, to be honest. That's kind of like been my cutoff. I've certainly sold stuff more expensive, but in recent years, I've just kind of want to like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to take too big of a risk. I just have more luck with CJ dropshipping items. I like their customer service better. I don't like using AliExpress. I wouldn't recommend it for most sellers. Having trouble with Facebook Marketplace dropshipping. It always comes down to the same stuff: product research and optimization. Product research and optimization. So those are the two things that are going to make the biggest difference. Does Traco's tracking numbers have an expiration date? Well, in a sense they do, because the tracking number you're given is going to be showing that the product is in transit. So if it shows it was delivered 2 weeks ago, and then you have a customer that ordered an item yesterday, you don't want to use that tracking number on that order, because it's going to show that it was delivered before it was even ordered. See what I mean? Gerardo says, what do you think about online jobs charging to use their platform? Do you think it's still worth it? Yeah, they've always charged for it. I've always think it's worth it because there's a couple of places you can hire VAs from. One of them is called Upwork. And the problem with Upwork is that when you hire an assistant through Upwork, you pay the money to Upwork, and then Upwork takes the cut and gives the rest to the virtual assistant. You don't hire the virtual assistant directly, which means, unfortunately, that you don't have that direct relationship with them. Most people on Upwork, their goal is to make money from you, but also for you to give them reviews so that they can get more work from more clients. So they're not really interested in that as much with that direct relationship. Where if you go to onlinejobs.ph, this website, the way this website makes money is different, because you have to pay money to sign up for an account. It's $70 a month, which sounds admittedly very steep. But the benefit of this is that when you hire a VA through this, you hire them directly. And really, you only sign up for 1 month. You sign up for 1 month, you get a whole bunch of VAs, you keep their emails, you hire one. If it doesn't work out, you contact the other ones because you save their email. Oh, we frozen? Someone says. I don't think so. So yeah, you pay the $70, you hire that one VA, and the cost of hiring a VA through this is less, because there's no middleman. So all the money goes directly to them. So you actually save money in the long run. All right. so we're running out of time here, and I lost my place. I don't think we're frozen. I don't know what plan I'm on with Track Taco. And they won't last forever because they're going to show they'll get delivered eventually. But I like them. I like Track Taco. I've had good luck using them. Yeah, with Facebook Marketplace, it's not as important as eBay. Put up 3 to 4 listings a day in the beginning. I think I've already answered those. I would contact their support about this. Lorenzo, I don't think I'm going to be able to get to all your questions. You always ask great questions. You can ask them next week, or I'll get to some of them though, or email them to me. Yeah, I just don't, more expensive items, the issue is that if a customer says they never got it, and let's say you don't have a valid tracking number, because you're using like a Track Taco one, yes, that works for most cases, but if they raise a case about it, eBay could side with them, and then you're out $2,000. Like that's a hard hit. That's a hard hit on your account. I think I actually never reach out to Track Taco's customer service. I've never needed to. Yeah, that's why that's why I avoid high ticket items. Yeah, you can I've been logged into my Facebook account while my VA has been logged in to my Facebook account. I think I actually got to all your questions, Lorenzo. All right. Oh, right, here's another one. If I use a credit card that offers cash back to fulfill orders, can I still get more cash back with the cashback website? You can stack a cashback credit card and a cashback website. The problem is that cashback websites don't really like resellers. So if they see you ordering a lot of items, they'll stop giving you cash back for that website. So it'll work for a little bit and then it'll probably stop working, right? Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's the confusion that Lorenzo has. You get credits, but the tracking numbers themselves have dates. Like it'll show it's been delivered at a certain point, but you'll be able to keep the credits. Yeah. All right, that is it for this week. Thanks everyone for the fantastic questions. Thanks everyone for the super chats. Thanks everyone for bearing with technological issues that I had this week with power and cameras not working, all that sort of stuff. Appreciate all you guys so much. If you have any questions that weren't answered, make sure to come to my next live Q&A. I do them every single Tuesday at 4 p.m. Hey, before you do that, in the description of this video, I have a ton of free resources for you. Free ebooks on the best suppliers to use, free ebooks on the best software to use, tons of great stuff in there. So definitely check that out. Download those, get those for free, and then come to one of the live Q&As. Do them every single Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Give the video a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, make sure to follow me on social media, all that stuff. Everyone, thanks so much for hanging out, and I'll see you next week.